Hi parents and grown-ups. We are doing our video this week to just review some of the letter lines that your students or your children are going to learn this next week, and then also give you the number strokes and how to write the numbers that they also learned this week. So I borrowed William's morning job board, but you all should have the board that we sent home last week that has the sounds at the bottom they can be practicing, and then where they can practice their name and some numbers and letters. So first I was going to teach you next week, they're going to be learning how to do curve lines, lowercase curve lines and uppercase curve lines. And it's essentially done with the letter C. So again, review from last week, skyline is the top line, plane line is the middle line, remembering that we only ever fly left to right or in one direction, because a lot of new writers will start trying to write this way. So just reminder for them, the plane only flies one way. The grass is the bottom line, and then some letters need that bottom worm line. We won't need it this week yet. So for curve lines, we're going to be basically making uppercase C's and lowercase C's, but we're not going to call them that letter quite yet. We're going to more just refer to it as a curve for them. So lowercase C lines are going to start at the plane line, and they're going to curve back around and touching the grass. So start at the plane line, curve back around, and then touch the grass. Remember, for them starting at the plane line, don't let them come from the bottom. Even though it looks great, it's still not the correct stroke. And it's gonna matter when we start teaching them stroke formation for their actual letters. So curve line again for lowercase, start at the skyline, curve back to the grass and up. Start at this plane line, curve back, touch the grass, curve up. Uppercase for the curve line starts at the sky. Again, making sure they go left to right, because again, you don't want them to go like this. That's backwards, okay? And they'll know that because the plane's gonna fly this way. So uppercase curve line is gonna start at the top here on the sky, curve back, go down, touch the sky, back up. The skyline, just a little bit, curve up to the sky, back down, touch the grass, and back up. And again, making sure that when they're doing uppercase letter lines, you're making sure that it's the sky to the grass. And when they're doing lowercase letter lines, they're really adhering to that plane line to skyline.
When we see them floating, we just remind them we don't want letters floating. So show us what that would be a floating letter. We don't want them floating. We want them sitting on the grass.
Okay. All right. So those are the curve lines that they're going to learn this week. This week they learned their slant lines, uppercase, lowercase. Okay, and then same way.
Starting at the top. Always starting at the top.
Okay. We also learned a couple more numbers this week. So just review from last week for number 1. We've been telling them just cross out that worm line because our numbers aren't going into the worm line. But we're gonna go skyline to grass line, pick up. Skyline to grass line, pick up. And that one's easy. That's the letter 1. Straight line down and then we're done. That is how we make a 1. Then they learned 2 last week as well. We're starting at the sky, go around, down to the grass, across the grass. I'd start at the sky, curve around, go down to the grass, slide across the grass. Or they'll hear them around and back on the railroad track, 2, 2. We also learned 3 this week, again starting at the sky, and we taught them around and around just like a bee. That's how we write the number 3. And because it's not a letter, it's a number, and that's why they're curving backwards. So normally, once they're good at their number formation, they won't need the lines, and so the curving the wrong way won't mix them up. Also too, when they're doing that 3, a lot of them sometimes get this. We really are trying to get rid of that extra space in there, so that wouldn't be the correct way. Also too, you see them sometimes with this loop here in the middle. That would be something they're trying to not do. Also, even if it looks better, but it's still coming from the bottom, we want to make sure they're still starting from the sky for that number 3, okay? And then they also learn the number 4. Again, they're using their skyline and grass line as a guide for them to really get that formation down. So 4 is down and over. So they're kind of making that L from skyline to plane line and over. So they basically made an uppercase L, but they're stopping at the plane line. And then they're going to pick up their pencil, straight line down. So it's down, over, and then down once more. That is how we make a 4. So we had a lot of friends doing this week. Backwards. And then,
Or starting at
the bottom. We've also had some friends do this, which is a great 4, but it's just not the kindergarten 4. So again, for 4, straight line down. So it starts down, over, and down once more. That is how we make a 4. And the trickiest number, which is very different from, we had all different ways they try to make number 5 this week. Again, you're still using these lines to help them guide the formation. 5 starts from the sky, go down, and then they're gonna curve around, and then we stop. We finish a 5 with a line on top, which is very different than maybe you, I, or people have learned in the past to make their 5. So they make sure they're going straight line down from the sky to the plane line, then they curve around, back, touch the grass, and then they fly across the sky. So a lot of friends will come up from the bottom. Some will start.
And it'll look like an S.
Yeah, we have a lot of, they think that is that. So just really focusing on down, curve around, and then we stop. Finish a 5 with a line on top. Hope this helps you guys at home using this board and practicing some of the things we've been doing in class.